My dear heart, you are reading this at the exact moment you were meant to. Nothing pulled you here by chance. Something inside you has been whispering quietly for a while now, a soft voice beneath all the noise of life saying there is more. You may not have been able to explain it, but you have felt the pull. You have sensed that your life is moving towards something different, something deeper, something that feels almost like remembering who you have always been. Take a slow breath with me. Let your chest relax. Let your mind loosen its tight grip, just for a moment. There is no rush here. There is no performance here. Only honesty. If it feels comfortable, say gently, I am open. Those words invite stillness into the places inside you that have been tense for too long. Stay with me to the end. By the time these words finish, something about your past, your present, and your coming future will feel clearer than before. Not because your life magically becomes easy, but because your heart will finally recognize the meaning inside the moments that once felt confusing and heavy. There was a day in your story that looked ordinary to everyone else. People came and went. Conversations happened. Maybe there was laughter. Maybe there was silence. On the outside, nothing seemed different from any other day, but something was said or left unsaid. A simple expression crossed someone's face. And suddenly deep inside a part of you went quiet. You felt the sting. You felt the question rise. Am I really seen? Do I truly matter? For a second the air seemed to thin and your hope trembled, but then beneath that ache something ancient within you answered back. A strength you did not fully understand. Whispered, I am still here. I am not disappearing. That moment changed more than you realized. While you thought you were just hurting, something sacred was being recognized within you. Your true self, the one that has survived every season, stood up gently and refused to vanish. That was not the day you were overlooked. That was the day you quietly came home to yourself. Some people along your path didn't know what to do with your light. It wasn't loud. It wasn't dramatic, but it was steady. Their own fears made them shrink from it. Instead of saying they were scared to face their own wounds, it felt easier to misunderstand you, to joke, to dismiss, to assume you were insignificant. Yet even as they walked away, something in them could not forget your presence, that uneasy tug. That was the truth reminding them that what they ignored had real value. Their doubt never defined you. It only revealed the limits of their vision. While others were busy measuring you by shallow standards, you were doing quiet work that no one could see. You were learning how to choose honesty when pretending would have been easier. You were learning how to stand gently instead of forcing yourself to fit into places that felt wrong. Their leaving did not break you. It revealed what was strong inside you. They thought your absence wouldn't matter. But when you stepped out, rooms lost their calm. Conversations lost depth. Peace faded faster than before. They were not removing extra weight. They were removing a foundation. And yet this isn't about their regret. It is about your rising. Every tear you hid, every night you wondered if there was meaning in your pain, every moment you chose not to become bitter, these became the roots of who you are now. You didn't wake up wise overnight. You became this version of yourself step by step, conversation by conversation, season by season. You grew in silence, and now your presence holds a stability others feel even when you say very few words. Listen carefully. The quiet calm that has begun to appear in your life is not temporary. The soft peace that surprises you during ordinary moments, the gentle clarity that tells you where you can no longer stay, these are not random. They are invitations into a way of living that flows from truth, not pressure. When you come close in honesty, when you speak with sincerity rather than fear, you discover that nothing important about you depends on other people's approval. You begin to live from fullness instead of need. Imagine waking up in the morning and noticing a steadiness in your chest even if the day ahead is uncertain. Imagine walking into a room and feeling that you no longer have to perform, no longer have to shrink, no longer have to pretend. You simply show up as yourself. Those around you sense something authentic. Not perfection but presence. That is where you are heading. You are not losing your old life. You are growing out of what was too small. The dreams that refused to die, the longings you carried quietly because they felt too fragile to speak aloud, they were never foolish. They were seeds, and seeds take time. Some stayed buried longer than you expected. but buried doesn't mean gone. Buried often means preparing. You will see certain desires unfold in ways that make you realize why the waiting had purpose, not to punish you, to shape you. Keep tending the small, faithful choices. Keep returning to truth even when emotion feels stronger. Keep speaking kindly to yourself on days when you don't feel particularly strong. Your becoming does not depend on flawless behavior. It flows from an inner alignment that grows each time you choose honesty over fear. One day you will look back at moments you thought were breaking you, and you will see threads connecting them with grace. You will remember the unexpected conversations that appeared exactly when you needed courage. You will notice how the right people crossed your path at strange, perfect timings. Your story will help others believe that healing is not a myth. Someone out there is waiting to hear how you survived, how you softened instead of hardening, how you learned to breathe again when the world felt tight. Do not hide your journey. Speak gently about what has awakened inside you, not to impress, but to encourage. There are hearts walking through shadows similar to those you once knew. Your words might be the lantern they need to take one more step. Something is shifting around you now. It may not look dramatic, but the direction of things is changing. Opportunities begin circling closer. Resources that once seemed impossible slowly open. People who value integrity begin noticing you, not because you shouted your worth, but because authenticity is magnetic. You will find doors opening that logic can't fully explain. You will sense favor surrounding you like quiet protection rather than loud attention. You no longer need to chase recognition. Paths that align with your purpose will recognize you. Leadership will begin to call your name in unexpected ways. Not the kind that dominates, the kind that steadies, the kind that tells hard truths kindly. People will look to you not because you demand it, but because your clarity brings peace. You may not feel ready, but read this gently. Readiness is often formed in seasons that felt like loneliness and delay. Nothing was wasted. Those pauses carved patience, compassion, and resilience inside you. As your circle widens, anchor yourself in humility. Influence is not a throne. It is a responsibility to serve with sincerity, to protect what is fragile in others, and to refuse the temptation to act from ego. Keep your heart soft. Stay curious, remain teachable. These are the marks of real strength. There will still be valleys. Life always contains contrast, but the difference now is the well within you. Where panic used to live, peace will start to answer. Where exhaustion once overwhelmed, strength will rise at the moment it is needed. Financial burdens may lighten. Pathways to work may connect unexpectedly. Relationships long strained may warm slowly back toward healing. The outer shifts are simply reflections of the deeper restoration already happening inside your soul, and something else is approaching, a different pace. For years it felt like pushing uphill. Every small step demanded tremendous effort. Now as alignment deepens, movement becomes supported, like wind catching your sails, like water flowing instead of being forced. Opportunities will come together faster than before, not because you rushed, but because your inner world and outer world are finally in agreement. With this acceleration comes an invitation: do not lose depth. Stay grounded. Keep listening inwardly. Let your decisions flow from peace rather than urgency. When things begin to speed up, remember that your worth does not come from how much you accomplish. It comes from who you are becoming. You are not fading, you are unfolding. The discomfort you sometimes feel now is not collapse. It is expansion. Old patterns cannot hold who you are evolving into. Old fears cannot command your steps the way they once did. You were not created to disappear into the background of life. You were shaped to carry presence, compassion, wisdom, and quiet courage into the spaces you touch. Do not lock this awareness inside yourself. Someone in your world needs to hear the reassurance you once needed. Share gently when the moment feels right. Tell them starting again is real. Tell them that shattered seasons do not disqualify them. Tell them light returns. Before you move from this moment, breathe once more and whisper softly, I receive. Let that phrase settle like warm light through every part of you that has felt weary or doubtful. Receiving is not weakness. It is agreement with truth. Gratitude will steady you. It anchors you when old voices try to pull you back into smallness. It reminds you that you are not abandoned, not overlooked, not forgotten. You are seen in ways deeper than sight, held in ways deeper than explanation, guided in ways that will make sense only when you look back. Walk forward with a quiet confidence. Let kindness fill your words. Let forgiveness unburden your heart. Let resilience carry your steps. This is not a random season. This is an unfolding. This is an emergence. You are stepping into a life that feels more honest, more aligned, more alive. Keep going. Keep trusting the process becoming clearer inside you. And remember always, you are being carried not by fear but by a love that has been with you from the beginning and will stay with you through every chapter yet to come. There is something important I want you to notice about yourself. You have survived situations that once felt impossible. There were nights you lay awake staring at the ceiling, wondering how much more your heart could hold. There were days when silence felt heavier than any argument could, and yet somehow you kept going, not loudly, not dramatically. You simply woke up again. You showed up again. You tried again. That quiet courage may not have earned applause, but it transformed you from the inside out. You did not become stronger by pretending you were unbreakable. You became stronger by learning how to bend without shattering. Every time you chose patience over bitterness, every time you chose honesty over pretending, you stitched yourself back together with invisible threads of resilience. You might think others do not see this work, but life notices. The seeds planted in hidden soil are the ones that bloom the strongest. What you cultivated privately is preparing to become visible, not in a loud way, not in a way that demands attention, but in a way that brings peace wherever you go. Soon you will find yourself in moments where the old version of you would have reacted from fear, but instead you will pause. You will breathe. You will choose clarity. You will feel the shift inside. I don't need to carry everything anymore. I don't need to explain myself to everyone. I don't need to shrink to make others comfortable. This is maturity growing in you. This is wisdom quietly arriving, and slowly the people meant to walk with you will recognize it. They may not even have the right words, but they will feel safer around you. Not because you fix everything for them, but because your presence reminds them that storms can be faced without panic. The world needs souls like that. There is a path opening ahead of you that connects your pain, your compassion, your gifts and your experiences into something meaningful. Maybe it will show up in your work, maybe in your voice, maybe in how you care for others, maybe in how you finally care for yourself. However it appears, it will not ask you to abandon who you are. It will ask you to bring your whole self forward. You no longer have to be the version of you that settles just to keep peace. True peace does not grow in places where you constantly betray what your heart knows. True peace comes when your choices match your inner truth, and step by step that alignment is forming. There will be moments when old doubts try to return. They may whisper, "What if you fail? What if you are not enough?" When they come, do not fight them with force. Simply answer gently, "I am still learning and I am allowed to grow," then continue forward. Doubt only wins when it convinces you to stop moving. Remember this, grace is patient. Growth does not rush. Healing is not a race. Every chapter has purpose, even the slow ones. Soon, certain conversations will feel different. You will notice yourself speaking with more clarity. You will ask for what you need without shaking. You will walk out of rooms that drain your spirit without guilt. And instead of feeling guilty, you will feel relief. Because you will understand that honoring yourself is not selfish, it is sacred. In the days ahead, expect subtle confirmations, a message that arrives at the right moment, a decision becoming clearer, a door closing but leaving you oddly calm instead of afraid. These are signs of alignment, signs that your life is being guided gently toward what supports your soul, not what drains it. And when you feel tired, don't assume you are failing. Sometimes tiredness is simply your old self exhausting its final resistance while your new self takes shape. Allow the transformation. Allow the softening. Allow the unfolding. Before you go, place a hand over your heart for a moment. Feel the rhythm inside your chest. That rhythm is proof that life has not given up on you for even 1 second, and neither should you. Whisper quietly, even if only in your thoughts, "I choose to trust the journey." Let that promise settle. Let it stay with you when challenges rise again, because they will, but you won't face them the same way anymore. You are entering a season where strength feels kinder, where wisdom feels gentler, where hope feels more real, not because circumstances suddenly become perfect, but because you are becoming rooted. Walk forward softly, but confidently. Your story is still unfolding, and the beauty of it is only beginning to be seen. There will come a day, sooner than you think, when you will pause, look around, and realize that life feels different, not louder, not perfect, but lighter. You will notice that your shoulders do not carry the same invisible weight. Your thoughts do not spiral the way they once did. The constant fear of losing everything will slowly loosen its grip, because you will finally understand something that took you years to learn. What is meant for you grows with you. It does not crumble the moment you breathe. And when people see you then, some will wonder how you managed it. They will think you discovered a secret. But the truth is simpler. You chose not to abandon yourself anymore. You chose to stay present. You chose to listen to the quiet wisdom inside instead of the noise outside. You chose love over fear, even when your voice trembled. You may not feel like a hero, but someone somewhere will gain courage because you refused to give up on your own heart. There will also be unexpected reunions. Not always with people, sometimes with forgotten parts of yourself. The part that laughed freely. The part that believed something beautiful could happen. The part that trusted that life still had surprises left. Those pieces are not gone. They have simply been waiting for safety. And slowly, as peace grows inside you, they return like long-lost friends coming home. You will begin to notice opportunity in places where you once saw only walls. A new idea will spark. A conversation will open a door. A small risk will lead to something meaningful. And you will realize that building a new chapter is not about dramatic leaps. It is about steady steps taken with intention. Do not rush those steps. Savor them. Moments of doubt may still try to visit. Pain does not vanish from the world. But now, instead of breaking you, challenges will deepen you. You will respond differently. Not from panic, but from a grounded awareness that says, I have faced storms before and I am still here. You will learn to trust timing. You will learn that letting go is not always loss. Sometimes letting go is clearing space for something that fits your life more honestly. There will come evenings where you sit quietly, maybe with a cup of tea, staring out a window, listening to the world settle, and a strange softness will fill your chest. Gratitude, not for everything that happened. Some things were wrong, and you deserved better. But gratitude for how you grew, how you healed, how you found your way back to yourself. That gratitude will not erase your scars. It will simply remind you that your scars did not stop your growth. In the future, when someone younger, or more fragile or more afraid comes to you and says, I don't know how to keep going, you will have something priceless to offer. Not speeches, not cliches, but presence. You will be able to sit beside them and say with quiet conviction, I once felt exactly where you are, and even though it looked impossible, I made it through. So can you. Your story becomes medicine. This is how your journey becomes part of something bigger, not through fame, not through applause, but through courage passed from one heart to another. And hear me gently. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not ruined. You are arriving exactly when your soul is ready. Everything that slowed you was shaping you. Everything that confused you was clearing illusions. Everything that hurt you taught you what you will never again accept as normal. You are allowed to build differently now. Softer but stronger. Slower but deeper. Wiser but still open. From this point onward, carry a quiet promise inside. I will not shrink to be loved. I will not abandon myself to be chosen. I will honor the truth inside me, even when it makes others uncomfortable, because the moment you stop betraying yourself, the right people, the right opportunities, and the right seasons begin to recognize you. Walk forward knowing this. You are guided. You are supported more than you realize. There are unseen threads weaving together, timing, encounters, and shifts in ways you cannot fully see yet. But one day you will look back and say, it all connected. It was leading somewhere the entire time. And before we close this moment, let your heart speak just once more. Whisper or even think quietly. Thank you for where I am, and for where I am going. Those words open doors in places you cannot yet see. Gratitude has a way of calling in goodness. Your life is not slipping away. Your life is unfolding. A chapter is closing, yes, but another one is opening with calmer hands, clearer vision, and a deeper sense of purpose. Step into it without fear. Step into it with a soft strength. Step into it remembering that you are not alone in any breath, any choice, any path ahead. This is not the end of your story. This is the beginning of the part where you finally understand it. Walk on, steady, open, honest, and let the light you carry gently change the spaces you enter. Your time of emerging has begun, and you are ready.